Hey everyone, it's Christine. It's been a long road, but we've nearly reached the conclusion of Chronicles of the Gatekeeper Act 2, which means it's time for another Q&A episode. Send in your questions about the act, the characters, and our experiences to heroes@thehydianway.com or on the Heroes of the Hydian Way's Discord Q&A channel. With that out of the way, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force.
They've outgrown their age of rebellion, dulled the Empire's edge, defeated Imperial generals and the Pirate Queen's dredge. They've been soldiers and scoundrels, what's there left to be? How about lost acolytes looking for their force and destiny? There's a seer, hermit, investigator, and teacher. Better watch your back or a vibro ring's gonna reach you. Will this team find the light or will darkness win the day? Find out with the heroes of the Hydian Way.
Previously on Heroes of the Hydian Way, Hillary, Skipp, Kesh, and Koba continued their hunt of the holocron crystals on Cato Nemoidia, learning more about the Jedi whose legacy they pursued. After finding an eyewitness, they were forced to flee from danger to danger, escaping once more the clutches of bounty hunter Dallin Oberos, as well as Imperial Inquisitor Carl, only to land in the moldering opulence of the Undercity of Jora. Soldier Ward's last known whereabouts were at a negotiation in the palace. A negotiation that failed and ended in violence, echoing the war itself. But the palace is not dead. Its security lingers, ready. Are the heroes? Find out this week as Skipp steps up.
Welcome to Heroes of the Hydian Way. This is a Star Wars actual play podcast, and we're playing in Fantasy Flight Games' Force and Destiny system. We're using the Chronicles of Gatekeeper adventure as developed by Tim Cox and Max Brook. Episode 23. I'm Ben, and I'm the GM for this adventure.
I'm Koba, the Doug Sentinel Investigator.
I am Hillary, the Alina Sage Teacher.
I'm Kesh, the Trandoshan Mystic Seer.
I'm Skipp, the Kaleran Seeker Hermit. Why aren't you all saying anything else?
It sounds like we're in a lineup. Turn to the left.
Oh no.
I don't want to.
Oh, at least the left's my good side.
No pithy jokes, no.
Look, there's a bunch of droids over there.
That's never stopped us before from going off on tangents.
Save your pith for the helmets. Come now.
Appropriate time.
Actually, you're right. So I'm going to ask a completely off-the-wall question, considering our current circumstances.
This is your fault, Skipp.
To learn more about our heroes, we get one to ask another a question. And, as Kesh has said, it is Kesh's turn. Kesh.
So, Hillary, how did you and Alicia meet?
Well, so, we met in a diner that her father owned, and hit it off. We were good friends for a long time, but she really didn't want to be there. She actually wanted to run away and join the circus. And so, we'd joke about it whenever my family was in town. And then she decided to do it. But her father wouldn't let her, so we pretended to elope. And then he had to let her. We didn't have to, but he did. And it was great, except for lots of family drama and fallout, but it got better. It got better. And we were in good terms with her father when he passed sometime later. And as you see, or I guess you've never really seen, it worked out. And the pretend stopped. And we became a family.
How long did it take before the pretend stopped?
Well, I mean, on her end, I don't know. I won't lie.
You were kind of always into her, though.
She was lovely. She is lovely.
Ah.
Anywho, yes.
Oh, yeah, right, droids. We gotta fight.
Refocus. Alicia.
Our destiny pool consists of 4 light side points and 2 dark side points for this session. Hit it, Ben.
The camera looks out at the bridge city. There looks to be a very low cloud over it, eating up some of the tallest building on this bow that goes to the top of the frame. And the camera starts going towards this really, really tall building, dipping into the mist of a cloud and then turning down. And it's at this point where we go inside this smashed out dome. We see that the camera is not going down, it is actually going up. As the camera goes up several levels and turns, you see the back of 5 BX series commando droids. The frame slowly starts to rotate 180 degrees so that they're standing on the floor. Behind them, deeper into this palatial hallway, is our heroes, who have just been warned that they are trespassing. For their perception, they had gotten 1 failure, so they were surprised by these droids jumping out at them, but they do have 3 advantage and 1 triumph. And we have not exactly hit initiative start yet. So the question then becomes, what do the heroes want to do with their 3 advantage and 1 triumph?
Heal some strain.
I mean, I do still have strain. I could heal.
I'm gonna guess you're not the only one. I don't need it, but...
I'd be happy with just making a cool roll.
I mean, yeah, you can make a cool roll, which would have happened on the way up, or down here, of which a lot of you can, if you want to.
I've been spending advantage to heal the strain I had, so I probably just stick to what I've got.
Okay.
I guess I'll do it. I don't really need it that badly, but I know certain Leslie's do.
I feel better.
All right. My strain is more than gone. I don't know what a triumph means when I'm fully healed on strain, but...
You look really freaking dashing.
Yeah, my strain is super gone.
That it is. Yeah.
A wind has caught your cloak and scarf and is billowing dramatically.
And Hillary feels more inspired by Kesha's presence and recovers more strain.
I could actually go with that, sure.
I mean, what do I get?
Go for 3 more strain?
Woohoo!
Seems like a thing.
Very quickly, I dropped from almost all to not that much. Yes. Meow.
There is at least some of the advantage and that triumph from the perception check. The 4 of you are further inside the palace than the droids.
And there are 5 of them?
There are 5 of them.
Okay.
In 1 minion group.
Is there maybe something useful we could notice? Or maybe they had a bad landing? Or...
Maybe there's like an elaborate chandelier directly above them?
Considering the way that this place is, yeah, there definitely could be a chandelier over them.
That maybe somebody can cut through with like a saber throw if somebody has something like that, or a well-placed blaster shot.
It's a shame we don't have those vibro rings.
Right? That's my idea. We don't have to do it.
Brandon? Ren?
I don't have strong feelings, so
yeah, you all
that's
seem
fine.
to have it in hand.
I guess we'll go with the chandelier.
Okay.
I mean, why not? Why, when a plan involving a chandelier is brought up, would you ever not do it?
I maybe because we don't have the ability to actually cut it. It was my concern, and
We don't.
We have guns.
I don't
Are you
know.
sure about that?
That's why I was throwing it out there. I don't know what weapons people have.
I
do
know
have
somebody has
Pretty
weapons.
good cutting weapon, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Did you take saber throw?
No.
Ah,
Then
That
no,
would
we
look
do
really
not.
cool.
We don't have a very good cutting weapon.
Okay,
We do.
hold on.
for
hold
far
on.
distances.
Obviously we do.
Hold on. Question. Are you all saying this plan kind of like out loud? Like musing about the chandelier out loud?
I don't.
I feel like we could. You know, we're standing there, turn around. Stop, intruders. And we all take
Look up.
step back, look up. Sure would be nice if we had those vibro rings right about now, huh?
Yeah, stick out the rope.
I could get to that.
Yeah.
Beg pardon?
What, like it's hard?
You got anything good for cutting, Skipp, or do you need a implement?
I'll take something.
Hillary will pull out a throwing dagger, flip it up so that he catches the blade and hold it up to you.
Cash was drawing a
Cash.
knife as well. What?
So there's like 3 knives coming in Skip's direction.
Being offered you.
Skip will just grab
To be
one.
sure, Koba does not pull out a knife. Koba does not have anything to cut it with. Koba reaches over and points pointedly at Kesh's staff that we now know is actually a lightsaber.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can borrow this. Just don't. It feels a little. I don't know, a little evil, I guess.
That might
just
be faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
Just
grab
just
that.
be careful with this. So, Cash will pass you her staff.
Oh yeah, Skip will just
her
grab it.
lightsaber pike.
And then... Can I just frog leap up to the thing? With my jumpy powers?
Okay, it would be...
Like, obviously I feel like I would have to jump up, grab it, cut, and then, jump back down again. Probably getting a little hurt in some of the process, but...
If I'm describing the other end of a cantina as medium range, then I'm describing this at medium range. So if you're to use enhance the said jumpy power, you need to do a force power roll and use 2 pips to get up.
Right, because I also got the range. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so, alright. And we're not an initiative yet, right?
No, we're not.
So I don't need to futz with making it. Golly, am I bad with force things.
Did you hear how many questions I asked when I was healing? You're fine.
Okay. I have... So, if my force rating is 3, that means I roll 3...
Wait.
Yep.
WWW.
Yep.
And that just determines how many pips I have access to.
Yeah.
Okay. I have rolled 3 light side and 1 dark side. And you told me that I needed to devote 2 pips just to getting the proper distance.
Yeah, the way that would work is you get 1 to jump to short range, and you need, because you've got the range enhancement, you'd need another 1 to go to medium range. With this, you could even go to long range.
So I only need to use 2 of those light side points to get to...
Yeah, you jump up and are able to grab onto the chandelier.
Alright. Skipp is very...
From under you, you hear, "Hey, where are you going? Oh no, it's one of them. Quick."
Zoom, turns on the staff? Question mark? Am I able to turn it on?
I'm gonna go with yeah, because
All right.
Cash by this point I figure would have done the work on knowing exactly how to turn it on and would have shown you.
It's got a button.
Then is gonna slice through the thing and then... Okay, hold on. Pushes the button. What color is the... It's red, right?
It's a red blade, yep.
Okay.
Not
The-
just red.
It's corrupted.
It's a corrupted one.
Oh, golly.
It's not quite as much as a cracked one, but it's not nice Darth Vader style solid red. It's kind of pulsy.
Okay.
In fact, actually, you would generate an extra dark side pip when you rolled earlier, because that's what it does.
Okay, so Skipp jumps up, grabs the rope holding the chandelier, pushes the button. As the corrupted blade comes out, Skipp kind of... They don't have a nose to crinkle up, but that section of their face kind of wrinkles just a little bit as Skipp just kind of makes this face of, I don't know, like that. But slices through the rope anyway, and then attempts to jump back down in the direction of their companions without hurting themselves too much. Yes, I know I'm probably dealing with fall damage, but I have 2 ranks of condition, so I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah. Do you want to use Enhance to jump down, too?
I mean, I figured I kind of had gravity on my side.
I mean, you
With
The
that
can.
point
one.
being, you'd land safely.
I mean,
Oh. Okay, do I have to
Yeah.
roll again, or can I use more of the pips from that pool?
I'd want you to roll again.
I wasn't sure how that worked. Alright, then. I have 2 light side points that I can pull from. I rolled 2 light side and 2 dark, and apparently, as Christine just said, I would get it. So I technically rolled 2. Whoa. I'm sorry. Terrible.
Yeah,
It's so
you would roll
heavy!
two light and
2
three
light and
dark.
3 dark. But I'm using the light, jumping down, so probably falling around the same time as the chandelier is, so I don't actually get to see my handiwork.
Well, that
How
way you
does
can
that
like
go?
land in like the cool superhero pose.
Oh no, I'm gonna land and like roll in like a kind of awkward thing, because Skipp hasn't really done this before.
Oh, okay.
I don't ever do cool things. What are you talking about?
I'm trying.
I mean, I feel like you certainly could start doing cool things because you've been on this adventure a while.
I mean, it was still kind of cool.
It was cool.
I mean, no, it was very cool. But I mean, like, award yourself with an awesome walk away as a happens behind you. I know that's not what a chandelier would sound like.
It looks like the chandelier crashes down. The 5 of them are, probably crushed underneath it. You hear, "Quick, there are intruders here." As the last one of them, their lights are sort of flickering as they're trying to raise their blaster carbine towards the group, and then the power goes out from them. The entire group is now crushed underneath.
Skipp will stand up and look at the other 3.
Hillary is literally
Shrug.
applauding.
What?
That was very impressive, Skipp. I didn't know you could jump that high.
I'm an amphibian.
Fair
well, that
enough.
explains it. But good job. Still, they can't be the only operational droids, so we better get moving.
And that will have created a lot of noise.
You noticed that, did you?
Yeah.
Here's your thing back.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
appreciate
like
it. Yeah, it's ever since the blade thing happened, it's been giving me kind of a bad vibe too, but I mean, it's handy and helps support me. So,
Well, if you ever get tired of it, I'm happy to hold it.
I'll keep that in mind.
All right.
Shall we?
Yes.
We continue on.
As you're walking towards the amphitheater that the talks would have taken place in, or near, because the amphitheater itself, as you see starting to get labeled, is the council room. When you finally get to the doors, you see the arches for detectors. You can see the little wickets for where security people would be standing. You can even see the half-cut apart droids there, where they probably were standing when they got chopped and shot down. As you go in, this place looks completely, utterly resplendent, with the floor and the bowl itself looks like it's made of some form of opalescent marble. The base of where the dignitaries are going to sit looks to be a small table that's surrounded by a larger table. You've got a small table that would sit probably a dozen on all sides, like 2 on this ends and then 5 on either side. And then there's a larger table that would sit in the neighborhood of about 30 people around it, almost like its own ring. And this looks to be made out of some form of wood. In the middle of the center table is the logo of the Trade Federation. And around all the different sides, you can see not amphitheater-style seating. It's still the stepped sides, but each level has its own work table booth that is there. So everyone can see down to the main area, but you can have several people there. You can see it across several of them. Many of them are destroyed, but it's got its own holo and data center built into each of these surrounding platforms that people can work at. The whole place just looks impressively ornate. And underneath the dignitary seats and tables, there is a transparent steel floor that has a set walking path on it. Looks like it's made out of a carpet of some variety, but otherwise it looks completely transparent steel. You can see where the reinforcements are, but otherwise you can see down, and all that you can see underneath is the mists.
I'm assuming we went back to our pretty standard marching order of Koba out front.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think so.
So how does Hillary react when the transparent steel floor comes up?
I mean, if you guys don't make any comment, he's just going to come into the room expecting it to be nice and solid like everything else.
Mhm.
And then he'll drop sword, and you'll just kind of hear him go, okay.
Don't look down.
Thank you, Kesh. That's very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you go
I try.
look at things over there? I'm gonna look at things over here. And he does that thing where he turns to casually inspect, like, the door frame. Just runs a hand down like, yes. Nice door frame. Nice, solid object.
All right, why don't we trash this place and look for a crystal?
Sounds good.
Are there a bunch of bodies here?
There are, but it's almost entirely clones. This also doesn't look like the area that Zell showed you.
Okay.
Zell showed you the actual fight between Ward and the Jedi and the Trade Federation. So this doesn't look like that. You know that it is someplace close by, and from there, you also feel a knot of the dark side off through one of the lower hallways, like one of the aid access ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like they would have been meeting up and doing the effective out of the public's view kind of negotiation, and then walking out into the main building to do the more formal style negotiation / signing stuff.
Okay. So then, who exactly is getting that feeling? All of us? Or just...
You're getting the darkened feeling. Like, it's a combination of fear and anger that is in the knot just off of the bottom floor of this arena.
She's off the bottom floor of the arena.
Yeah, like, there's where the transparent steel is, there's some hallways for, like, aides and dignitaries to show up on the bottom floor right near.
Okay.
If you're to go through one of those, that's where you're feeling this knot of anger and fear and sorrow.
I'm going to start heading in that direction.
I'll follow Cash. You know what? Skipp is going to follow Cash, but also because Hillary has been so supportive of them this whole time and giving the like awkward knee or hip or whatever he could reach pats. Skipp is going to, when they walk by Hillary, who's clutching to the wall, just attempt also to like awkward pat, but the thing that is most reachable on Hillary is the top of his head, so it's like possibly could be read as patronizing, but Skipp tries to do a little head pat on Hillary as they walk by.
I mean, do you like offer a smile as well, not like a pity face?
Skipp has a strange mouth, so whatever at this juncture you have come to realize is how Skipp's smile is what Skipp will attempt.
Hillary will also attempt to smile in return. It's a grimace.
As you start making your way down onto the lower floor of the council chamber, I am going to flip a point.
Okay.
The wreckage around you is silent, save for the occasional scrabbling of vermin and the incessant drip of water from somewhere nearby. As you progress across the war-torn terrain, your footsteps crunch on something. You look down and see the wreckage of a battle droid shredded by fire, its interior rusted out. Suddenly, red lights begin to blink on inside the scrap piles around you. A number of ancient, rusty commando battle droids clank into position to attack. Lumbering up over the back of two of the observer platforms, you see two masses of battle droids get up. They look to be about the same amount as a chandelier got dropped on.
Okay.
Is that 2 minion groups then, or is that just one more
Yes,
minion group?
there's 2 minion groups.
Okay, are we entering structure time this time?
Yeah, I'm going to get us to enter into structured time.
Okay. I'm going to guess this is vigilance.
Yeah, for pretty much everyone, I'm figuring that this would be vigilance.
Okay. What even is my vigilance anymore? Technically, I also have an extra dark side pip. However, Ward's Foresight, I don't need to use all that. I'm just going to spend a pip to add a success to my first check of the encounter, and that's all I can do with it. So the other pips are wasted.
I like that roll.
Okay.
Okay. Is that still going?
Mm-hmm.
Our initiative for this are all 4 PCs, followed by then 3 NPCs. Nice and simple.
Well, that's a thing.
Quick, where's another chandelier?
I mean, you're in a fancy room. There might be more.
None of us rolled triumphs or anything, though, so I suspect
No, it's all back
whatever
to the pot
fixtures are in
lighting.
here are not quite so deadly.
Oh, they didn't want to be distracting, so they're just, lights.
Their chandelier budget was only so much.
I'm also figuring that was about the only chandelier that was left standing, or hanging, as the case may be. Otherwise, most of the other chandeliers have all been used for that stated purpose.
Mm-hmm.
They came out of hiding roughly at the same point as the 4 of you got down towards the bottom floor. And as you're doing that, you can see what actually is 3 tables. The center one and 2 outer ones that allow passage to get to the inside ones without weirdness happening. And you can see a bunch of potted plants, vines going up and down. It's trying to work in with the marble to look very, very ornate, but all the plants have since overgrown by a whole lot. Because apparently, there's a bunch of mist outside, so the place is pretty humid.
Mm-hmm. What weapons, if any, do the droids have in hand?
One group appears to have their swords out, and the other group has blaster carbines.
All right.
The carbines are on a balcony. The swords are they on the floor with us?
Yeah, they'd be at about medium range to you.
Okay.
They do have their carbines, but where they came up, they all have their swords out.
And the balcony droids, are they also medium range?
Yes, they would be medium range, but they're a quarter of the way around the circle that is the arena, council room, whatever.
Is there a way that Hillary can make his way around the edges without actually going on the transparasteel?
You could go from viewing platform to viewing platform.
Like, are there pathways, or would I be taking leaps?
There would be pathways. I'm kind of thinking they're essentially like balconies, but you've got a walkway in behind all of them, but then they go out into a
Gotcha.
balcony/platform area. The rise to them doesn't really seem enough to actually warrant a railing on it.
Okay.
So that's the reason why I'm calling them platforms.
Gotcha.
There's nothing on the far side, but there is a walkway around on the outer side. Yes.
All right, well, Koba's first turn is easy. Action to commit a force die to the defensive function of sense. Maneuver to draw an ignite lightsaber.
Okay. Kesha's first turn is less easy, but I know what she's going to do. Kesha's going to take a running start, as well as she can with these old bones, and I'm going to try to use my own enhance as a maneuver, to leap up into the balcony with the blaster droids.
Huh. Okay.
That's just a maneuver.
I mean, they're at medium range, so we kind of covered what you need.
Yep.
And if I remember right, you also have the control upgrade that allows you to do it as a maneuver.
I do. I generated 4 light side points and 3 dark side pips, counting the creepy extra 1 from a staff. So I'm going to spend 1 to activate the jump and 1 to increase my range to medium.
All right.
Just double checking that doesn't cost me any strain. So yeah, I'm just going to leap right in there, activate lightsaber pike, and with my action, I'm going to start swinging.
Okay.
Does anybody mind if I spend a destiny point?
Nope.
Go for it.
I don't usually spend them to do this sort of thing anymore, but my lightsaber skills aren't really that good. Are these guys as 2 purple? These droids as 2 purple?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I feel like they're Vibroblades might add melee defense, if I recall correctly, but these guys don't have them.
These ones don't have it out. And you are correct.
Okay. I'm just double checking my stuff. Yep, so it's going to be 2 yellow, a green versus 2 purple. With 3 successes and 2 advantages, which is very, very bad news for them. Because the base damage on this is going to be 9, breach 1.
Okay. So that brings us to 12.
So since we don't actually operate with breach all that often, I think it's worth throwing it out here.
Good point.
That what breach does is it pierces 1 armor, which is what vehicles have instead of soak, but translated into personal scale, it's essentially pierce 10.
And these were, there are only 5 droids up here, right? Because I heard you just say
Yeah.
the number 12, and I got very concerned. I jumped into a bigger nest than I thought. Okay, and then I'm going to spend the 2 advantages to crit as well to take out an extra droid.
You've absolutely pulled a Jedi on this. That took out 3 of them, 1's wounded, and 1's untouched from the group.
Yeah, so I think as Kesh leapt in, she just speared one of the droids immediately and then pulled the blade out, swung it, and decapitated 1 droid, hit another one, kind of cutting it in half, and maybe clipped that 4th one as she's standing there, brandishing it at the remaining droid and a half. That'll end her turn.
Okay.
What, is that all you're gonna do?
I mean, I could do a force powers and maneuver, but, I'm not going to right now. And I don't feel like taking force drain right now, so yes, that is the end of Kesh's turn.
All right, Skipp.
Yeah, since it seems like Hillary is having none of this, Skipp will sigh because their weapon of choice is not going to be of any use against non-biologics, and unholster the carbine
Yes.
blaster, and will, so that's a maneuver, and just attempt to pick off one of the ones that Kesh is working on.
All right, so you're going to be shooting at the group that's next to Kesh?
Yeah, that's the one that's sort of the most threatening to one of my compatriots at current.
Okay.
Okay, I remember.
Okay, that will upgrade your check.
Mm-hmm. So it'll
Oh.
turn into a red and a purple.
Oh, because you're so close to them?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, just it's fine as long as you don't roll a despair.
Mm, crap. Well, I already said it, and I already am going to make pen edit so much out of this.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's cool. Do it.
I mean, technically it's fine if you roll a despair too, just be careful.
I can take it. I got healed real good.
Okay.
I mean, really, Christina's had this coming since, like,
Since
Trouble
Cav,
Brewing.
Yeah. Like, this would be payback for Cav.
Yeah.
that was the stun weapon though.
So you said it's red and purple?
Interest.
because of
Yeah,
this?
just a red and purple because they're at medium range, and Kesh is engaged with them.
Okay.
Look, I only shot all of you in that
I
campaign.
can't
I think.
do anything else to upgrade this. So.
I don't think you actually ever shot Billy.
Whew, all right.
I did shoot
I
Billy.
rolled 2
Oh,
yellow,
dear.
green,
Finale.
red, purple, and I got myself 3 successes. Oh, I wrote the carbine pistol stats further back in this stupid journal because we were... Okay. Damage 6, so that's 9. 9 damage because it's at medium range. Okay, yeah, so 9.
Final answer.
No?
Well, wait, is not Kirby 9?
Oh, I'm looking at the stats for the blaster that you handed me before I got the carbine blaster. Yes, that's 9, so that's 12.
Okay.
So not final answer.
Not final. Yes, 12 damage.
Though sadly, this does apply to their soak. So there were 2 standing next to Kesh, and you give off a volley of fire, taking one of them out. The other one gets spun around from amount of blaster fire. So now there's just Kesh, battle droid.
Skipp will do their very best to give Kesh that sort of like chin lift. Yeah, I helped thing. But Kesh probably doesn't look down at Skipp's direction, so it's fine. It's fine.
If I had a hat, I would tip it to you.
All right, who wants to guess what Hillary's gonna do?
Cower?
Throw a knife?
Excuse you. Hillary's gonna run.
Oh no, okay.
You said we could all sense where the creepy thing was?
Yes.
Hillary's going to look at the room and pick the safest route in that direction.
Moving that way, yes, there is a path, but there's a lot of droid parts, clone armor, and that sort of stuff strewn around, so it's not quick and easy going.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be able to get about halfway there by going on the path that doesn't go onto the transparent steel. If you want to, you can downgrade your action to do the moving, or you could spend 2 strain and still have an action left.
Hillary's legit just going to, he's not going to try and do an action, so I can, that would be a downgrade and it wouldn't take the 2 strain?
Correct.
Alright, so everybody's looking all cool and ready, and Hillary's like, if we get the creepy thing, we can leave. Or at least he's assuming that the creepy thing is going to be the crystal, because it's the only thing that he can feel. So he's going to check that out first. And he takes a quick look around. Kesh is doing good. Skipp's helping out. Koba's getting ready. Alright. And run. So he ducks and covers and dodges and bobs and weaves his way toward the spooky thing.
Alright.
Keeping low. Lower than usual.
What I kind of want to get from you...
Yes?
A 2 purple stealth check off of you.
Can I have a boost because there's lots of detritus and I'm little?
Sure.
Woohoo! Thank you, Boost. That was exceedingly unhelpful. That is 3 green, 1 blue, 2 purple, 1 success, and 1 advantage. I'm healing another strain, guys.
So the droids who would have a chance of interacting with you, they have lost track of the Aline. That would bring us to the NPCs, of which the NPCs are going to... Okay, one is going to try and hit Cash because, well, that seems like a thing. It feels like a thing.
Okay. So they've got 2 setback dice between my armor and my lightsaber pike.
Good job, Christine.
What I meant by that was they're going to stumble backwards, disengaging from... This is also the group that has the carbines.
Oh, I thought they had a sword as well.
They do have a sword, but this one has been shocked. I'm kind of figuring that, yes, okay, it is a commando droid. That, yeah, they could pull their vibro sword and try and fight you, which makes a bit of sense. I mean, the roll's the same either way, except for the defense. But I'm figuring that they just got shot. They just got spun around by the amount of blaster fire that winged them. Mm-hmm. So I'm figuring that they're going to stumble backwards and try shooting at Cash.
Okay, so in that case, it's only 1 setback die.
Their ability is the same. It actually does make it a little easier to shoot. Giving 4 advantage. I am figuring that they're shooting around and drawing enough attention, making it very well known that whatever enemy is here is here. They are essentially giving out 2 free maneuvers to groups. Yes. So, one, you hear the wonderful metal-on-metal pitch of a droid rolling at some considerable speed. The distraction of all the stuff that's going on with Kesh is allowing the intact group to start rushing towards Koba with their vibro swords out, which then allows them to use their own maneuver to close to engage with Koba and try and stab at him.
Alright, their roll is upgraded twice.
Okay, their roll is upgraded twice. The training saber doesn't give any extra defense, does it?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Not the vanilla kind of saber that I have. Oh. Cool.
Well,
wow.
That does a thing. Okay, so in rolling, they got 4 success, 1 advantage, and 1 triumph.
Yep, they sure did.
I don't know what it is with you, and it seems to be kind of triumphy tonight.
Yeah.
Damage is 9, pierce 2. I mean, it is 5 droids stabbing at Koba.
Yes. Koba is going to be extremely unconscious from this.
Extremely unconscious?
By quite a bit, in fact. Well, yeah, bleeding. Losing a lot of blood and bleeding.
So I take it you were more injured earlier than you let on.
Well, part of it is that my wound threshold is only 11 in the first place.
Fair
and my
enough.
soak is 3, so I'm taking 8 of those.
Oh. Okay.
Even if I had been clean, this would be very bad. But I wasn't clean, so it is going to bring me down.
Okay. Which will be a crit on its own.
Yeah.
Even before the triumph is resolved.
That removes the fun of doing a crit with blades.
I mean, you could do both.
Yeah, you can do both.
I could do both, but that just feels unnecessary. Okay, the crit. You are off balance is an easy crit. Okay.
Yeah,
Which
I
then-
sure am. I fall over.
Yeah,
Oh no.
that's them. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the triumph. Because now I don't... I was going to crit on it, but then now that took all the fun out of doing a crit.
I mean, you could totally crit. Also,
Yeah.
if they have Vibro Sword, are they vicious at all?
They're vicious 1.
Okay, so that should actually be 31.
If I'm just doing the wound crit, then it doesn't get vicious, does it?
I don't think so.
Wait, really?
I thought if you go down, you just take a crit no matter what. But I didn't think that was modified unless you already had crits.
Huh. I have never read Vicious that way, but maybe.
Oh, I thought vicious only applies to the crit that it deals.
Yeah, that's how I've always thought of it. I mean, on the other hand, it's...
If that's how you're running it, that's fine. I just, I would interpret this as dealing a crit with that weapon, right? Because
Okay, like, that's
that
fair.
weapon is producing the damage that causes me to take a crit. But that I mean, I can see that there's ambiguity there, so...
Okay, fair. But even if we do the vicious 1, that bumps it up to stunned. The target is staggered until the end of their next turn.
Yeah, in this case, it doesn't actually make much difference unless that's a 2 difficulty.
No, it's still a 1. It's not until you get into the 40s that they become 2s. So, the net effect is nada, but I see where you're coming from, and yeah, that makes sense for this roll. I mean, the only other time in Heroes have done a wound threshold crit is falling. So, that I remember. So, yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Do the 31 crit instead of the 21 crit. So that's them. I am thinking that they are flourishing and moving in such a fashion that they're able to get around Koba's defenses and slice him in such a way that he's now down and bleeding. But in doing so is causing enough of a terrible distraction that the next PC to go is going to take a upgrade in difficulty.
Okay.
I'm figuring that with whatever sounds Koba makes, it's going to be heavily distracting to everyone.
What is Koba's falling? Is there a line?
Blah.
Just a-
Koba!
there's a moment. There's a moment of quiet, and we just all hear blah,
Bleh.
and we all freeze and look.
Queh.
The saxophone just starts to play, like,
Oh no!
extra mournfully.
No
The saxophone
ghost!
swells into, like, sort of a dirge as the droids stab Koba over and over again.
No ghost! You can't have him today. This just got worse.
Alright, I know what Kesh would try to do.
I would like to go first if I may.
Then go first.
Just to clarify before y'all get going into the second round. So what's happened is after that droid has gone, the metallic sound and the rolling about 3 levels up for the surrounding platforms, you hear the clunk, clunk, clunk of a droid deca stop, and its 2 blaster arms unfold, and it starts looking around.
Guess that's above us.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so Hillary, I guess you're up.
How far is Koba from me?
If you go with the ring, you'd be looking at probably 2 moves. If you were to jump off of the ring, it would be short range. It's essentially direct short range or short range in difficult terrain.
I will get to short range. Actually. No, I won't. I'm going to try from where I am. This is a terrible idea. Okay. So Hillary sees Koba go down, and there is a whole lot of not good happening. He has that moment where he wants to just throw up, and he falls to his knees, and he just kind of grips the edge of the platform he's on, and he reaches out toward Koba as best he can without actually... He's still too scared just yet to approach the spinning blades of doom and stand over the mist of death. But he reaches out with the force, and he just takes Koba kind of in his arms mentally and heals him from a distance. I got 2 light side, 1 dark side. I will use 1 pip to upgrade the range, which gets me 2 upgrades because it's 1 pip to increase by ranks that I have. I have 2. And I will heal 6. You feel better. Please don't move yet.
That is enough to bring me back below my threshold.
And we usually start from 0, or max wounds. Yeah, so news is a little bit better than you think, Koba.
At least that's how we've been doing it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
May not quite be right by book, but
yeah,
that's how we've been doing it this adventure.
Yeah. Okay. Give me a sec to change it because I'm doing it raw. So I heal 6.
Yeah.
Are we just counting from 1 above the threshold? Because equal to threshold, you're still awake. You're not incapacitated.
Yeah, it would be 1 above the threshold.
Okay. All right. That brings me down to 6 wounds out of my 11 threshold.
Cool.
Okay. Anything else from Hillary?
Can I feel him start to breathe again? Basically.
I'm figuring yes.
Okay.
I'm figuring yes with this on account of it makes sense for the power that you would know that.
Okay. In that case, he is then going to start shouting and making noise where he is to attract their attention so that they don't stab Koba again. Says, "Hey, you creatures, over here! Buckets of bolts and electricity and things!" And he kicks at the debris around to make noise over where he is.
I don't think that there needs to be any sort of roll around that. That's just going to be making a loud enough noise. Plus, if Koba hasn't moved yet or done anything with them, then I'm thinking that they would be ignoring Koba and you'd be making enough noise for them to start to look to go over and stab.
I know Kesh is going to be moving in to support Koba. Do you want to act first, Brandon? Do you want me to
If
jump
anybody is planning to come within engaged range of Koba, let me go first.
Yes, that was the
Because
plan.
otherwise you're going to get ebbed.
Okay. Then you should go first.
All right. Koba opens his eyes, feeling very not great, but awake. I presume lightsaber is still nearby since we...
Yeah.
So Koba is going to maneuver to pick up lightsaber, maneuver to stand, and then attack with lightsaber. So I believe I'm looking at normal is average. They, because of their triumph, upgrade it by 1. Their vibro blades have a point of defense. I'm still off balance, so that actually does add a setback as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because it's my next action is how the crit reads.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, next turn. So this is still in the actual turn.
Don't have any attack bonuses. I am going to do ebb. So that'll be both my force dice, because when I went unconscious, my committed die would have automatically uncommitted.
Yep.
And I better save flipping for if I want to use dark side points. Huh. Okay, I've got 2 failures, 3 advantages, and 3 light side pips. So, first of all, it doesn't hit. So there's that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the force power then is still available to it.
The force power is not strictly tied to combat checks.
Yeah.
It doesn't really care if I hit or not. It just cares that I did a check in engaged range. Me and every character engaged with me is going to suffer 2 strain.
Okay.
And that's 2 of the pips. And I'll use the 3rd pip to add 1 failure to any checks made by engaged opponents. So this minion group until the end of my next turn.
Okay.
So Koba stands and starts swinging lightsaber around. They probably mostly block it because they're programmed rather to fight Jedi, and Koba's only so-so as a swordsman. But through the Force is kind of pulling at their power sources and just kind of draining the heat out of this part of the room in some way. Maybe his breath even starts to show up as a little bit of condensation when he breathes, because it's just the energy. I did verify. It doesn't look like there's anything in the ebb and flow power that strictly says that effect can only be living things.
Nice.
The way you made it sounded pretty cool for how to have it affect droids. So sure, I'm with you. I am here for that.
All right, now if you want to be engaged with me. The 3 advantage. I can't do an extra maneuver because I've already used 2 maneuvers and I can't do more than 2.
I'm guessing you're fine on strain. You could always pass on some boosts.
Because I took strain to do an extra maneuver and I take strain when I ebb, I'm actually pretty rough on strain, so I probably should just dump it all
So you
back
should just
into my
recover
strain.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it does make some sense.
If I had any maneuvers remaining, getting out to short range makes sense because then I'm not engaged with them at all. But
sadly, no.
That spin does not break the 2 maneuver limit.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm just going to dump that back into my strain, and now I'm done for real.
So then that brings us to Kesh and Skippington.
My question for Cash.
Yes.
We haven't taken care of that one that's right beside you still, right?
No, I was about to abandon that one to go
Okay.
help Koba.
That's fine. I was just curious if it was still there.
It's still there.
Yeah.
Have it.
Just Koba going down and going, blah. Makes that a higher priority, even if he is back up and moving again. So my plan is I'm going to use Enhance to jump back off the balcony and try to reach Koba. If I can, I'd like to position myself where I'm engaged with both the commando droids and Koba.
Okay. That is doable.
Okay. Well, this is going to impact the other rolls I'm going to make here. So I have 1 light side pip and 4 dark side pips. So I think Kesh is starting to become afraid. And it's going to let in a little bit of that fear. So I'll take the conflict and the strain.
Okay.
Or could I undo that for a moment and try my natural mystic instead?
You can do the natural mystic, sure.
Okay. I'm gonna retroactively do that for a moment. And let's try this again. Nope. Okay, so I got 5 dark side pips this time. So let's increase that conflict and that strain up to 2 as I will leap down beside Koba, letting all the fear in. And with my maneuver, my second maneuver, as I go up to 6 strain for the turn, I'm going to attempt to use Protect on Koba as a maneuver using my Force is my ally talent.
Okay.
This is what I was really hoping to save that flip for dark side pips for, but D1 had other ideas.
Like it do.
Yeah, like it does.
Wow.
1 success, 4 advantages, 2 light side pips, 2 dark side pips or 3 dark side pips that I can't spend. So unfortunately, I can barely activate the power for the 2, so I can't protect you from the vibro swords. I might be able to protect you from incoming blaster shots. Koba, you are going to gain 4 defense for the turn.
Okay.
And then you will subtract energy-based weapons that hit you by 5.
Okay.
It'll reduce the damage by 5, and you have 4 defense for the turn and both of those things apply from all attacks for the next turn. And lastly, with my action, I'm going to try to lightsaber some droids. They're, 2 purple and a setback?
Yeah, 2 purple and a setback.
And failed. So I think Kesh is letting a lot more of that fear in than she realizes. She leaps down. That shimmering shield appears around Koba, and she swings and misses her targets there. I am going to spend the advantages to recover some of the strain I just took, because it was quite a lot. And that will end Kesh's turn.
So then brings us to Skipp. At range, there's a destroyer droid that is just getting up to shoot. There's the single droid. And then there's the 5 droids that are engaged with Kesh and Koba.
I wish I had like a better thing in my brain for what to do here. There's so many droids. This isn't even the bad room. The floor's weird. I can't. Okay.
Just for clarification, this is the room from the vision.
This is the room from the vision?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I had not caught that. I thought that...
The table's slightly different than what was in the vision.
Okay.
Are there plants?
Yes. There's ivies and whatnot growing around.
I didn't realize this was the same room. That's what I meant by the bad room. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't catch that first round.
Does Skipp see a loose floor panel? Like in the vision?
I'm gonna go with yes. Yes, Skipp does.
Skipp is going to do that thing where they sort of cup their hands around their mouth to try to like amplify the voice, even though that doesn't actually work. All right, now's the time you have to trust me. And is going to... How far away is the panel from me?
About short range. It's very, very, very close to Kesh and Koba.
Okay. I am going to use a maneuver to jump over to... Or I say jump, in the motion that Skipp meanders through life.
Okay.
To get over to the floor panel, and hopefully in like a cool, action-y, knows what they're doing sort of thing, sort of slides over to the floor panel, stops, and would like to attempt to just like pry the panel so that it falls out. Okay,
yep. That sounds, if not exactly, pretty close to what we've done way back when. I mean, it's been a half year. Quarter year? It's been a lot of time. There have been developments.
And then is going to sit there, hopefully looking like a very good target for some of these droids near this hole that maybe they won't notice. All right, we have to try to get them over here.
We have to try to get them over there. Okay.
That's my turn. Oh gosh, you know what? Actually, I can blow strain to do another maneuver, right?
Yes.
That's how it works? Okay. I'm going to do that, and Skipp is going to pull a glow rod out of my pack. And I'm going to do the Jurassic Park thing, where I wave the glow rod like I'm trying to get the attention of all the bad guys in my direction.
All right.
And that's my turn.
That brings us to the NPCs. First is going to be the single droid that is up that had been trying to shoot at Kesh. Now finding out that they're supposed to have another damage on them, they fall down.
Oh, good job, Ward's past sight.
I'm just figuring that they've been spun around enough by the blaster shots that rang out near them, the amount of stuff that Kesh did to them, and they're just, like, they were spinning around, and then their body stopped and the head just kept on going and fell off.
Kesh just foresaw that in a moment they were going to step on a place where the floor is a little uneven from the damage, and so when Kesh was attacking, Kesh sliced through one of their leg joints just enough that it wasn't broken, but it was damaged enough that when they did make that bad step now that Kesh foresaw, the stumble is enough to snap the leg the rest of the way, and that's how they're dead.
That was my cunning plan all along.
Exactly, yeah. That's the foresight. You just gotta see it.
Let's see if D1's willing to behave and go with me on this.
Okay. Is this still that droid's turn or somebody else's turn?
That droid is now gone, and there is the destroyer droid that is in place and is ready to start shooting. They are going to do the two things that are annoying for destroyer droids. The shield bubble pops on.
Yep.
And they are going to do a fire sweep.
Okay, so with a fire sweep, who is being targeted, or is that going to hit everybody potentially?
I should be doing on the hardest one that's going to hit.
The fire sweep just had its own difficulty.
Yeah, it does. It makes sense to add in the setbacks.
So four defense for Koba then?
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at it. That also Koba has a, I don't know if perfect chance of doing things, but there's a reasonable chance of getting through this. This extra successes doesn't cause any extra damage.
Yeah,
I just figured that.
That's the flip side of you don't have to worry about your target's defense, is that you also don't get anything extra for your own roll.
Yeah, I'm still figuring that the defenses should factor in, but
I mean, it definitely makes them a lot kinder. So
yeah, that's up to you, Ben. Come on, we're tough. We can take it.
All right. I'm still doing a fire sweep, but the one thing that I'm absolutely doing is that you still are engaged with a group of commando droids. That should definitely upgrade.
Sure. That makes sense.
Okay, so what does this unkindness do?
This would be doing 12 damage to someone. I'm figuring that would be Cash.
Okay. So my soak does apply though, right?
Yes.
Do they have any pierce, any breach?
Pierce 1.
Okay. So 12 damage, pierce 1. So Cash is still up.
So yeah, it was firing and apparently was able to actually hit.
Okay. I take it you needed advantages to hit other people?
Well, blah, blah, blah. One hit that deals base damage with its built-in twin blasters on up to 2 targets within medium range. I missed that part.
Fire sweep is its own thing. It doesn't really function like a normal attack.
Yeah, and that's where I was kind of messing up. I was trying to treat it like a normal attack when it isn't. So I'm thinking that it would have been shooting from Kesh to Koba, because they're standing relatively close together.
And that makes sense.
You'll at least reduce that damage by 5 off the top.
Yeah, so that'll be 7, and I can... Oh, is this a ranged combat check, according to...
Yes, it is a ranged combat check.
Okay, then I think it's probably still subject to reflect.
Yes, it's the destroyer blasters. This absolutely should be reflectable.
Yeah, like thematically for sure.
That's exactly where I meant. Like thematically, this absolutely should be able to be reflected.
In that case, in addition to the protect, the vaguely visible bubble of force protection that currently surrounds Koba, sort of slowing the blasters a bit, Koba is also able to swing his lightsaber to deflect a lot of the hit. With a Reflect 3, I'm able to reduce by 5 more damage for 3 straight.
Okay.
which means I'm only looking at 2 Pierce 1.
Yep.
I have 3 Soak, so my Soak will just eat the little bit that remains.
Awesome.
Now, if Kesh only had 2 more hips on the protect that Kesh could use.
Yep, if I had even one more, I was going to protect myself as well.
Oh, that wasn't what I was meaning.
Oh, you're talking about the reflecting back. Yep,
Yeah.
that would have been good too, but my first plan was going to be to protect myself.
Well, yeah, I mean, really. So that is that guy. Then we've got the group of 5. The battle droids are going to be trying to get to Skipp to slash at Skipp, because Skipp is the one who is trying to distract them and bringing them to Skipp. I don't think Skipp has any defense, do you?
I don't have any defense at all.
This is to see whether they can get there without falling, which means they get to stab at you with a vibro sword.
Okay, so our mini group have left us?
Yeah, they went to the person who was calling them
Okay,
with
fair
the...
enough.
I mean,
Fair enough.
I mean, I can't blame them for deciding to relocate after a destroyer droid just waked a bunch of blaster bolts between them.
That too.
well then, they got 3 success, which... Vibro sword, 5 damage, pierce 2.
Okay.
7 damage, 8 damage total, pierce 2. 8
Okay,
damage,
so
pierce 2.
two of it bypasses the soak no matter what, right? So that's...
Reduces your soak by 2.
Oh, okay. So I mean, so it's still math. So that's... I take 5. Okay.
Alright, that's them, and the last destroyer droid comes in from the same side as the first destroyer droid, and does the 3-point setup.
Yeah, to gain the defense dice.
I'm going with them stopping. They still have to do a maneuver to get the bubble. It's actually a maneuver for them, so...
Yeah, that's right.
They are not putting out the bubble yet.
So we gotta lure them to you, Skipp. Got it.
It worked in the vision!
Thank you for listening to this episode of Heroes of the Hydian Way. You can find show updates on Twitter at The Hydian Way, and you can find me, Ben, on Twitter at Deuterium Ice.
You can find me on Twitter at Blue of the Kin.
I am at LesletGS.
And I'm at 12th Night. That's 12th Night with a K.
I'm at Ren Apollo. That's Ren like the bird. I don't know. I wish I had a cool thing like 12 Night with a K.
I know, and that little sing-song Christine does. It's 1, 2.
What?
Yeah, no. I don't know. It's something you do, babe.
I'm
Okay,
Ren Apollo.
well,
Ren like the bird, Apollo like the god, because I have an ego.
Because you're a bird god.
Bird god.
Look, I've just been doing this, like signing off like this for a long, long time at this point. Almost 10 years of podcasting.
What?
Wow. We are all at thehydianway.com, where you can find previous episodes.
You can find more episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, where you can also help us out by rating, reviewing, and subscribing.
We are also on Facebook as The Hydian Way, and you can holocom us at heroes at thehydianway.com.
If you like what we do and you want to support the show, you can find us at patreon.com/thehydianway.
Or you can send the team some caff at ko-fi.com/thehydianway.
We'll also, take money to pay off these destroyer droids to, get out of here.
Boy, sure would be nice if somebody had a pry bar right now.
I don't understand the reference. Who drew the chandelier on the droids?
Well, I don't know. I was going to do a crash too, but we're not there anymore, so I figured it was moot.
Yeah. So
I
how does
didn't have
Hillary
that
react?
open. I
when-
had my... Oh.
Yeah, I just noticed it. Go ahead, Ren. I was going to go last now.
I was just trying to figure out why Brandon put an R in there. I was like,
It's
wait
short
a
for
minute,
roll.
what are we... Oh!
With this bot, you can generally do just like the first letter of commands.
I know, but I thought for some reason you were adding like red like difficulty to it.
Oh,
And
I had the
yeah.
same thought.
I was like, I missed the instruction where we had to do that. Okay, we're good. So I was just making sure I wasn't doing something incorrect.
Oh, I actually evidently did roll a red somewhere in there.
What?
That's because you didn't do init roll.
That's why.
Yeah, it's the C for challenge because that's what the red die is called.
Gotcha.
It turned the PC into purple red.
Okay.
Okay. I do.
Oh, do you
what
also
is it?
have enhance?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I've been increasing my brawn at times. Cash has jumped a few
Oh.
different times. She just doesn't use it that often.
Yeah, Kesh has been using the buffs to dice much more.
Kesh also has 3 force powers because she's
Yeah, because I was
ridiculous.
confused. I thought you had, the foresight
I have
and the,
4. Sorry. Yeah, I have 4. Thank you very much. Just word
Excuse me,
foresight.
I'm sorry.
I just can't
4.
buy very far into it because we don't have a crystal yet. So I'm doing the best I can.
Soon.
Enhance
okay.
is just an exceptionally generally useful force power for sure.
It is.
It is.
Yeah,
On
you
the
all
other hand, I
had
do-
me with thematic frog jumping, so.
And like having the lizard and the frog jumping together, that makes so much sense.
I love that so much. Skipp will see what Kesh just did, look back at Hillary in concern, and because I had not been prepared, because the last thing I had in my hand was the creepy lightsaber stick, Skipp will then, even though it's tempting to also jump up, Skipp will instead do that sort of like smooth kind of reach up thing and then pull down the big sniper rifle and just hunker down like on one knee and attempt to assist. Oh wait, no, these are droids.
Yes.
Oh
You can-
gosh, there's no good reason to use that rifle.
We can go with the carbine.
How did I? Yeah, no, I gotta I'm not used to fighting things that are. Oh no! Okay, I'm starting over. Apologies.
It's quick edit. It's a quick edit. Why you flip the point?
Because I used 1 to activate range and then the 2 for the healing.
What's the second one in the healing going to? I'm sorry. I'm
No,
being
it's
dense on
because
this.
one activates the power and then 1 lets me add my medicine.
You just automatically add your medicine in.
Oh, hold on a second. Medicine, ranks, strength. It adds 1 healing HP thing then.
Oh, okay. So then that'll be 6. Gotcha.
6? Okay, sure.
1 point of order.
Yes.
Don't you get a success somewhere for Ward's foresight?
I did. It technically would have applied to the first lightsaber strike, and I forgot to use it then.
Okay.
Because it is the first thing I do, not whenever I feel like it. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I just keep forgetting to use it when it's time.
Because we're probably ending on whatever Ren last said for Skipp.
I
As
said it
opposed
worked
to my
in the
rambling.
vision.
Exactly. As opposed to whatever my rambling is.
Skipp's catchphrase.
No.
It worked in the vision.